10 Keys to Detach from Someone Without Pain. Carl Jung Philosophy. Engaging introduction. Have you ever felt trapped in memories of someone you loved? Tried to forget them, but no matter how much time passes, their image and memories haunt your mind as if it all happened yesterday. If you're watching this video, you might be stuck in that very cycle, a painful loop you don't know how to escape. Today, I'm going to share with you a hard truth, one that's the key to truly letting go. Real detachment isn't just about time passing or distraction. If you've ever thought time alone would heal all wounds, I invite you to reconsider. Because the truth is, many people, even after years, remain caught in the loop of memories, pain, and attachment. It's not because you're not strong enough or patient enough. The issue is this: you're attached not to that person, but to the story you've created about them in your mind. That story holds unmet expectations, pieces of a trapped identity, and an unconscious illusion you built yourself. And that's the crucial difference this video will help you see clearly. Along the way, I'll guide you through 10 golden keys, essential steps to break free from toxic ties, so love no longer weighs you down or causes pain, but becomes a lesson and a growth. Stay with me until the end, because by then, you'll see both that person and yourself in a completely new light, with love and respect you truly deserve. If you know someone stuck in similar feelings, share this video with them as a gift, a reminder that they are not alone and that there is a way out into the light. So here's the question. Why, no matter how hard you try, do you keep returning to the past? Why doesn't time heal everything? And most importantly, how can you truly let go without being consumed by pain? That's exactly what we're going to explore next, based on the profound philosophy of Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists of all time. Get ready, because this journey won't be easy, but it will be worth it. The nature. When a relationship ends, the first thing many people tell themselves is, time will heal all wounds. And yes, the answer isn't that you're not strong enough or haven't tried hard enough. It lies deep in the very nature of attachment. You're not attached to the person. You're attached to what they represented to you. Maybe a perfect love, a sense of safety you never had, or a version of yourself you haven't yet let go of. In other words, attachment. Many people try to move to illustrate. Let me tell you about Lynn, a woman who was deeply attached to her ex for 5 years. After the breakup, she tried everything to forget him, working overtime, joining groups, dating new people. But every night, loneliness and emptiness returned. She realized the person she really needed to heal wasn't her ex, but the part of herself that had depended on his validation. This is the crucial point many miss. Time doesn't heal by itself. True healing happens only when you face. Moreover, your mind creates illusions that trap you even more. You remember only the best moments, sweet promises, and ignore the fights, neglect, or disrespect you endured. Your mind is like a director, playing only the good scenes. To help you understand better, here's another common example. Have you ever decided to buy a new car or gadget, and suddenly you start seeing it everywhere? This is a mental trap called confirmation bias. Your brain finds evidence to support your belief, whether or not it reflects reality. If you don't, attachment is to a mental story, not the person. Time and distraction won't heal if you don't face yourself. The mind distorts memories to maintain attachment illusions. Recognizing this is the first step to breaking free. Carl Jung and projection. Are we really in love? Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists in history, once said, "We don't see people as they." This statement opens a profound door to understanding attachment and love in relationships. It means that when you love someone, you might not be loving who they truly are. I imagine standing before a mirror, but instead of reflecting your true image, it shows what you want to see, what you lack, or the parts of yourself you wish to recognize. The person you love becomes that. This explains why love can feel so intense and why its loss feels so devastating. Because when you lose that person, you're not just losing them. To illustrate, consider Min's story, a man who sought recognition and safety in relationships. Every partner he loved became the perfect ideal who filled his insecurities. When the relationship ended, Min didn't just feel loss. He felt like a part of who Jung called this projection. You place your own inner desires, fears, and shadows onto others. When you don't acknowledge these parts within yourself, you end up expecting others to fulfill them, forgetting they're really inside you. How do you break free from there? It starts not just by seeing others more. You will begin to love and value yourself. The essential foundation for healthy, authentic relationships, rather than being trapped in illusions and dependency. Love often involves projecting parts of ourselves onto others. We love the image we create, not the real person. Losing someone can feel like losing a part of our identity. Healing starts with self-awareness and self-love. One major reason you struggle to let go isn't because the other person still affects you directly, but because your mind creates an illusion. Have you noticed how, when you think about someone you loved, your mind often highlights the best moments? Sweet words, shared smiles, warm embraces. The painful moments. Fig. This is your brain's natural defense mechanism. It wants you to feel safe by focusing on positive memories. But because of that, you end up imagining a more perfect love story than imagine you had a camera filming it. To help you picture this better, here's the story of Hawa, a woman who suffered endlessly over an ex. Every memory she had was about the good times and promises. She didn't realize she was overlooking all the warning signs and painful times. As a result, she stayed trapped in a dream. A simpler example is when you decide to buy a new phone and suddenly you see it everywhere. On the street, in ads, at stores. This is a psychological bias called confirmation bias. Your brain filters information to support your beliefs, even if they don't tell the whole truth. If you don't understand this, your memories are often distorted, highlighting good moments and minimizing the bad. This distortion keeps you attached to an illusion. Recognizing this helps you see the truth clearly. Understanding your mind's mechanisms is key to freeing yourself. The role of truth. The real pain you feel doesn't come from the loss itself. It comes from your resistance to accepting reality. When a relationship ends, many people fight against the truth. But this very resistance, the refusal to accept what is what traps you in suffering and prolongs your pain. Imagine you're holding a rope tightly. On the other side, someone else is holding that rope, but they've already let go. You keep pulling, but the other person isn't. Acceptance doesn't mean you agree or are happy about the situation. It simply means you face the truth without adding layers of his own story. After a painful breakup, he spent months waiting for a text from his ex. But one day, he chose to accept that she had moved on. The relief was immediate, not because she came back, but because he stopped fighting himself. Acceptance gives you peace. It closes the door on pain and creates space for your heart to heal. Pain comes from resisting loss, not the loss itself. Acceptance is seeing reality clearly without denial. Acceptance is courageous and leads to healing. Letting go of resistance brings peace and freedom, cutting emotional anchor. One major reason you can't let go is because you're still caught in emotional anchors and tie. Imagine trying to swim across a river with a heavy backpack full of stones on your back. Every stroke feels harder, more exhausting. Those stones are memories, habits, places, even people that keep you tied to your. That's why therapists often advise. Take Maya's story as an example. After a breakup, she kept going back to their favorite cafe, saved old photos, and talked about her ex daily. Instead of healing, the pain grew stronger. When Maya removing or avoiding emotional anchors isn't weakness or forgetting, if you keep emotional anchors in old environments hold you back. Changing or avoiding triggers helps create healing space. This is essential to reduce negative emotional activations. You must actively cut the rope, pulling you to the past, removing the special meaning, breaking illusions to free yourself. One deep reason you remain stuck is because you've asked. In your mind, you've built a story around them, tying your self-worth and future happiness to that image. When reality shatters, you lose not just a person, but meaning whole. But have you ever asked yourself, what if they aren't? Imagine walking down a long road, believing there's only one turn that leads to happiness. When that turn closes, you feel Lo Long's story illustrates this well. He believed his ex was the perfect one and only. After they broke up, he fell into years of despair. But when he started questioning his story, he realized he'd placed too much meaning on removing the special meaning. Holding on to they were the only one builds an invisible cage that traps you in pain and despair. Breaking this illusion is a vital step to step outside that cage, see things objectively, and open new doors for your life. Summary of this part: you often give someone an irreplaceable special meaning. This illusion traps you emotionally and mentally. Removing it frees you from dependence and opens new possibilities. Breaking this belief expands your view and your freedom. Breaking negative. Once you recognize the illusions and the special meaning you've given that person, the next crucial step is to break the negative. You am, I, my, I man. If I had done things diff, these thoughts aren't truths. They're what you need to do is become the author of your own story. Consciously erase or rewrite these SCR. For example, replace, I'll never find replace, I'm not worthy. Here's Han's story. She was haunted by the belief, no one will love me like they did. Repeating this thought, Emma, writing down your negative thoughts and actively responding with truth and reason is a powerful method to break free. Summary of this part: negative thoughts you repeat are often false scripts. You have the power to rewrite your story with positive truths. Changing your mindset breaks mental limits and opens new paths. Journaling and dialogue with your thoughts help this process. Rebu. When a relationship ends, you don't just lose the person. You may lose a big part of the ID you built around them. You might feel lost, empty, or ask yourself, who am I without them? This is the moment you realize you've tied yourself so closely to someone else that you forgot who you really are. The important thing now isn't to find someone else to fill that void, but to rebuild yourself from where you are. Ask yourself, what makes me happy, and what skills, passions, or Nam's story is a perfect example. After his breakup, he felt directionless. Instead of waiting or searching for new love, he focused on personal growth, learning new skills, joining social activities, and setting personal goals. All of rebuilding your identity is not easy. It requires persistence and self-respect. But once you do, you no longer depend on others for your worth and happiness. Summary of this part. Breakups can shake your identity tied to someone else. Finding yourself is key to building a new life. Focusing on passions and goals builds independence and confidence. A strong identity means you don't need others to feel complete. Letting go with you've traveled a long path of emotions and deep understanding. Now, at the threshold of true freedom, the last step is to let. Many believe that to forget someone, they must hate or resent them. But resentment is an invisible chain that traps you in pain, preventing you from moving on. Think about it. If you hold on to hurt and anger, how can you ever feel free or at peace? On the other hand, when you choose to be grateful for what you experienced, the less so. Lan's story is a beautiful example. She once suffered deeply, holding on to pain caused by her ex. One day, she realized that those experiences made her stronger and taught her self-worth. From then on, she felt letting go doesn't mean forgetting or excusing hurt. It's a conscious choice to free your soul, open new opportunities, and live a lighter, fuller life. The journey from attachment to freedom is never easy. But with these 10 golden keys we explored today, remember, you alone have the power to write your own story. The greatest love you can give is the love for yourself. True freedom begins when you let go with gratitude. If you're ready, write down below, I am free. I belong to myself. Repeat it until it becomes your truth. Thank you for staying with me to the very end. If you found this helpful, share it so others can find freedom and happiness too.